Dennis Markowski?
That's the one.
Oh, Dennis the Menace? Is he cracked? Oh. Hey, I'll tell you what, man. Dude, don't give it away. I'm enjoying more Mike.
He's dead. It wasn't me. It was a mistake made by a third party who has since been dealt with.
Such a professional, ain't he?
You got something to say?
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
This is the thing. He's going round now. He's lost that trust. It's interesting the position that we saw him in last episode with the lady, and he was like, my guys are tight, dude. But then, you know, we saw in the events of that episode that that trust was broken, regardless of how understandable that might be. And hey, a little bit of a crack, you know. The man himself, fallible. Fallible as well.
Now, it's not gonna be me, but absent the hazard pay, sooner or later someone's gonna flip.
Oh, yeah. There are holes popping. You know, water coming out, all sorts coming out, you know, mud and turmoil. And Mike's just there like, hey. You know what I mean? This is getting a little bit out of hand. And I think the reason for that is because Hank and Gomez are so good. I feel like, honestly, it was airtight. But I think, honestly, because Hank and Gomez, and Hank specifically, is so passionate, so into this, that it's just not going to get past him. The hazard pay is a big catch. And we saw last episode that Mike was annoyed that they'd found that. And perhaps he didn't expect them to find that as well.
I've got something new. It's just starting up. It's going to make you whole.
Ooh, and it's under Walt too. Mike's not sure about that. We saw last episode, we saw his motivations and why he's saying this and why he's doing this. He is not sure at all. I think that's what these little scenes are showing us, that everything isn't as under control as perhaps we are being led to believe, as much as Mike would try to persuade us. Hello and welcome to Breaking Bad Friday. Thank you for joining me for the show that happens every single Friday until we are finished with it, mate. We are going to be watching this episode, we're going to be analysing, we are going to be talking about it, we are going to have a good nerd old time about Breaking Bad, so strap yourselves in, get yourselves a drink. I did. In water, mate. It's not snot. It's not snot. I realised what I said just sounded like snot. It's not snot. I said it's not. I wasn't very clear. That was my fault. As always, spontaneous flamingos will be incoming. Man, I honestly don't enjoy watching Walt as much as I used to. Because I'm scared. I'm scared of what he's going to do. To just slip down this rabbit hole of this part of him, this person that I don't like.
Are you moving back in?
Of course he is, yeah. He can do what he wants. He's Walter White.
It's time.
Is it to you?
Do you really think that's...
Come on, Skylar, you've got this. You've got this, boy.
Yes.
I think this is pushing towards a place that Skylar becomes the issue. Not issue. The thing that pushes back against Walt. I think she turns. I think she turns against him, honestly, at this point. Like, I feel like that's where it's going. And at this point, I kind of want her to go to Hank.
Let it be noted that I do this under duress.
Well, I don't like that Saul is becoming this person, this character, that is just getting trampled all over. I used to be like, yeah, Saul, what you got, mate? And now I'm like, oh no, how are they going to hurt you now? Everyone's just a little bit too tense, do you know what I mean? Have a whack, have a whack. It's advice that I give out, and I usually give out very willingly and very quickly, and I haven't for a while, but honestly, it's appropriate, I feel. Look at this room. Look at this room right now. These guys could honestly just not in a circle, but do you know what I mean? Just separately, you know, individually at home, perhaps, or in another room. I don't know, not all at once. I mean, if they want to. I mean, you know, I mean, there's a bond, I guess. There's a little bit of a partnership. Maybe it'll cement their partnership. Maybe it'll actually. Don't say cement. Never mind. Forget it. On with the Breaking Bad.
You do not tell me how to take care of business.
Yeah, and there we see the tension. This point of contention as well. They're very much not Mike and Gus.
He handles the business, and I handle him.
There's that ego again. I don't know, dude. I don't know. If you challenge Mike, ooh, that'd be interesting.
It's outstanding, am I right?
What about the smell?
How many employees?
Ha, I knew you'd ask.
I like this. I like this little thing that we're doing. We're going around in a circle. We're seeing how competent they all are. And it's almost like, how can this possibly go wrong? But there is this element, this tension underneath. This has got to go wrong.
You know what this is? It's a corrugator. It uses steam and salt to crimp craft paper for cartons.
This is a little bit of Walt. It's so interesting that we got a little bit of a glimpse of him there. Gave this little factoid. I was sat here and I was like, oh, Walt, come back, no, and then he's gone. You're reminded of this inevitable sinking towards Heisenberg and these little glimpses of Walt coming up for air, but not for long.
When this thing is running, it's like a jungle in here.
That'll ruin the product.
It's an interesting question because it's like if they actually all got on and it was like a, you know, a really squeaky clean machine, it actually might be something. But that's not what we've got here. We've got a machine that is almost fighting against itself. Saul isn't happy. He's not comfortable. He's been forced into this. Mike's not happy. He's kind of been forced into this, at least by his own code, his own morals, right? Walt's Walt. Jesse's kind of the only stable one that's kind of okay with everybody. It could work. You see it. It almost gives you hope. It's almost more hopeless for that because you can see the cracks. It inserts this tension underneath that it's like, when does this go wrong?
Anything food related is going to have unannounced government inspections.
Damn, that is a good catch, to be fair to him. Yes, Jesse. You're thinking free food, free meal, free dinner. You get it, mate. You get it, boy.
No.
I tell you, Saul is so obsessed with the laser tag, isn't he?
Look, I get it. Just say no and we'll go get dinner.
This is the one.
No space, nowhere for the smell to go.
But there's a cop shop a quarter of a mile away.
Well, they won't expect you. Oh, but Walt's gonna override them for what reason, mate?
Perfect.
Yeah, what you seeing? And there's the crack. Jesse and Mike are immediately like, no, no. And Walt is like, pushing in this machine that should work well together. And it could, and you can see it, and it looks beautiful for a moment. And then there's just these cracks that you keep seeing just seeping through the whole thing, emanating from Walt almost. Not that I'm saying that Walt might not have a good point here.
The crew tents the house. Does anyone go inside? Hell no.
Smart.
And that's where we'll cook.
Also bold.
They tent, what, 3-4 houses a week?
Ah, so you move. Hey.
We bomb the place and leave.
Do you know what, though? That is I hate it. I hate that it's clever, but it is. And that's the thing, pause. It's a plan that's bold, and I think that's what, you know, is this through line to Walt's demeanor, to Walt's, the way that he thinks, the way that he's manipulating people, the way that he's planning things now. He makes bold plays. We saw that in the Gambit against Gus, and the way that he played that was smart, it was cold, calculated, and he was willing to do whatever it took to get the job done. And he fell back on his own mind, his own ability in a situation to get himself out of it under the heat, under the fire. Let's not forget, he was like, Jesse's gonna come at me, but I have the faith in myself to get myself out of that situation. And that's where he is now. And hey, I keep talking about this ego, and I do feel like it is outpacing where he's at, but there is also a place for that ego as well, because I think he is also very good at this now. He's tried things, he's failed. He's tried things, he's failed. That's the whole series. That's Breaking Bad, right? It feels earned because he's done that stuff, and he's failed so many times to the point that he's become this person that he is, that's very competent, very confident in what he can do, because he's been in so many situations where he's been down to the wire, and it's been his wiles and his will and his lies and his ability to carry that off that's got him out of the situation, and he knows that. And so there is an element of confidence that's earned. As much as I'm saying, you know, his ego's outpacing him, there is an element of that is real, and it's this part of it.
Control operation is legit. I mean, they're licensed, they're bonded,
And Hank's gonna find him. I feel like he is, but he's gonna have to be so brilliant to find this. That's what's kind of so exciting about this almost, is because like I know what it kind of is prepping you for what's gonna happen. I feel that's where the show's leading me, and the best thing about it is I don't quite know how we're gonna get there, which is the exciting part.
And you know them how.
He's Saul, buddy.
I've been pulling their chestnuts out of the fire, legally speaking, for 5 years.
Oh, better call Saul.
We take a vote? Why?
This is the thing. Is this a voting kind of atmosphere? Are we still admitting that Walt isn't in charge? Because he kind of is. Hello, buddy. What the f***? Oh, serenade me, sir. Hello, mate. Play. Go on. I want to hear it. Not as good. Hey, do you know what though? Hey, not bad though, mate. I nearly mentioned the other, do you know, I think it was episode 1 of season 5, the whole thing of, you know, this show reusing cast all the time. And I nearly mentioned about these two guys. I like how they became a bigger thing almost, and they got a storyline throughout all that. But it's so funny now that we're in episode 3 and they've come back into it for whatever reason, and I don't know why. I guess maybe Jesse's gonna get involved. Who knows? It gives you this feeling that they're just plumbing the depths to the core of every single one of those characters, and it's just really cool.
Hey, man, I'm trying to do business over here, bitch.
Nice. Good to know they retained a little bit of class.
No stealing.
No stealing.
Oh wait, this isn't good. I recognise that actor. What's he gonna do? This is the problem sometimes when you watch a lot of TV shows, is you kind of get a sense of who is, you know, you recognise people. And you're like, right, okay, so they have a role to play. You can't avoid that, really. Well, you can. Hire new people. I cannot stress enough. There's not enough of that in Hollywood and in TV and film and just in general in this business at all.
Time to time, you're gonna see these two. If they tell you to jump, you jump.
Oh, they like that. They like it.
No, I thought we put a collar on the tank.
I love that Jesse's on this level, that he can talk about this stuff and...
Yeah.
Yeah, and Walt's like, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, he's come so far. I love that.
Sorry.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hello. She's still in play. She's still okay. Oh, okay. So these guys made up.
Hi, Walt.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Again, it puts her in danger. It puts Brock in. I wanna be the very best, and no one ever was. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, sorry. Brock's gonna get hurt, man. I don't like it. He's not got an Onyx to help him.
This is, Brock.
Big that we're getting Walt meeting Brock here.
I understand you were in the hospital.
Oh, you condescending bitch.
Yeah.
Brock knows.
Sorry, he mostly just wants to play his game.
Fair play. Is it Pokemon?
I was thinking I could make us all some dinner.
Oh, she's such a gem.
Sure, why not? Beer sounds good.
There he is, making time to strengthen these relationships that are going to help him down the line. I'm so skeptical. This is the thing. I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he's genuine. I do feel like every move he makes, every little calculation and every decision he makes is so selfish. Honestly, I feel like that's who he is now. Oh God, dude, not less heat, less cold. Don't be weird, Walt. Okay. What the f, dude? What a way to make him suspicious. Interesting. Sorry, pause. You know what? No, I'm saying there that seemed a little bit heated, a little bit evil, almost. Could I possibly hazard a guess to say that that was a little bit of guilt? Him sitting there being like, I don't like this reminder of what I did. Man, you guys just put tents over people's houses. That's wild to me.
You may not re-enter the premises until it is cleared.
Interesting. How long until we get someone that breaks that rule for some reason? Maybe they see Walt and Walt's like, BANG! Getting ahead of myself, I am. Despite everything that's happened, despite how I feel about Walt right now, how good. There's an element of me that feels good that these two boys roll up and they're the men in charge. From season 1, that's where I saw this show going. Don't get me wrong, we meandered. It took a while, but we got here. And there is an element of fulfillment of satisfaction to that, despite the fact that it's perhaps not necessarily the most wholesome of things.
Nanny cam in the living room clock. I disabled it. I just thought you should know.
He's trying to get up in the chain. Hello, Why is it nostalgia? It shouldn't be nostalgia, but it is. That's the word that occurred to me. These two boys cooking again? Just those two as well? It's been a while. It's nice that we've come full circle and look, we're given this image of how far they've come. Oh, and that hint of coldness, you know. Clear and cut American family against this scene of criminality. Yuck. Interesting, the song choice. Sorry, I'm not going to play it because I'll probably get copyrighted, but it feels refined. It feels like we got to a place that is higher class. It gives that sense. And it's funny how they do use the music to inform the situation and the story.
Seeing you with Andrea and that little boy.
Oh, we'll be getting Walt. Is this genuine too?
It's nice.
Yeah, I feel like it is. I feel like Walt is there still, you know. A little bit.
And the way she looks at you. Oh.
Ah, no. Heisenberg, he's laying it on a bit thick again. I'm back and forth, man.
Is it moving in any
and he's questioning. Direction? He's like, is this going to get in the way? That's the sense I get.
Sometimes you just gotta listen to your gut.
And that's what you're doing. That's what you've been doing. I think there's a lot of honesty in actually how Walt is talking here. And it's nice that that camaraderie, that relationship that these two have, does still exist and that they've reclaimed that somewhat. It's nice to see.
I mean, how much she knows about this? She doesn't know anything.
Again, maybe a little bit of fear or solidarity. This friendship that Jesse also feels. Maybe a bit of both. More solidarity, more friendship I feel though, actually, in this moment.
Can't pretend that this doesn't affect me, it does.
And there you go, yeah, so confirmation that he was questioning because it was this element of, is she going to get in the way? As much as I'm saying that there's honesty and familiarity between these two and this conversation, it's still there, you know, the Heisenberg, this insidiousness beneath it all, always thinking, always scheming, always watching.
With everything that we've been through, the two of us.
And there we go, the caveat there.
This has to be your decision.
Nice.
I mean, you've earned that.
Nice, and I think that's genuine.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of honesty. Nice, and he needed to hear that. Look at that little. I feel like he needed that validation, and that's nice that he got that. And again, despite what I've been saying about the, you know, Walt and everything, it's nice that we are getting this. The boys back together, and their relationship has come so far.
Secrets create barriers between people.
They do. Ironic you're saying that, because you kept secrets from Skylar and it created barriers, mate, and now you've gone too far.
All that you've done, it's a part of you.
Now he's talking about himself, yeah.
I mean, if you choose to spend the rest of your life with this person...
I feel like his weakness is Skylar. His blind spot throughout all of this. Doesn't quite see what he's doing to her and how it's affecting her.
I'm just trying to say that I trust you.
Nice. This conversation's so layered.
I know you'll make the right call.
Yeah, I feel like all of the stuff that I've said is in this conversation, and it's almost conflicting. Do you know what I mean? But it's so layered.
If she loves you, she'll understand.
Wow, and that shows how deep he's in this, how almost blind he is to what he's doing with Skylar. Because he's like, no, if she loved me, she'll understand. That's such an inaccurate statement. She can still love him and not understand, but also it's not necessarily a factor of understanding, it's a factor of not accepting, of being like, that is not okay, I'm not okay with it. Do you know what I mean? He's applying this bandage, this one fix, this one bandage that heals all, to this very nuanced, very deep layered situation that I don't think he quite sees clearly. Even in that little statement there, he's almost flipping it back on her, because it's like, if she doesn't understand, well, it's her fault. She don't love me enough. No, he's getting these two together. Please talk to Marie. Wow, how have I got to this point? I was calling her Karen in season 1. And now I'm like, please talk.
Walt's birthday. Whatever you need, I'm here.
Oof, wow.
I don't think we're ever gonna do anything this year.
Fair play to you.
You can't be serious.
Marie.
And you can't smoke here.
Stop
There's
it.
got to be some rule or regulation. I'm sure you can't.
Bless, and you see the emotional situation that Skylar's in, where she just can't take more.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Please don't speak to me like that. I am simply saying that. Will you shut
Karen. Okay, we're back.
Shut up! Skylar. Shut up! Please. Shut up!
She's earned this. Fair play.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
God, yeah.
Shut up!
Oh, she's in such an emotionally tumultuous place, and bless her. Marie, please see. She needs help. She's at her limit. She's at her limit. As much as she's downplaying it and you don't see a lot of like overt emotion, because she can't, because Walt's there, she's so scared. When she's pushed even slightly by those outside of Walt, she can't take it because she's dealing with so much, you know. Ooh, what has she told Marie? Ooh, I'm excited. Don't think she's told her everything.
Breakdown. What does that mean?
Oh, right, so it's just on the surface, it's just what she witnessed.
What did she say when she was yelling?
Wow, and that tells you a lot of how he approached that. It wasn't with concern, it wasn't like, oh God, I need to help my wife, I need to help this person that I love. And I do that because I don't think he really loves her at this point, you know, his version of love, which I don't think is meaningful, honestly. Again, the direction he goes is like, wait, what she said? Protecting himself. That's what his kind of decisions and what he says and where he goes are motivated by nowadays, right? And so little of it is inspired by empathy for those around him, his family, those he loves, which is, let's not forget, why he started this whole thing in the first place, and how far he has strayed from that path.
I'm not leaving here until I know what's got her so upset.
Nice. However, he's absolutely going to think of a really good lie, isn't he? What are you going to say, buddy? Tell us, Walt. Spill the tea, son.
You heard about Ted Beneke.
Man, he's got an answer for everything. And she's going to buy this hook, line and sinker. Why wouldn't she?
I'm so sorry to hear that. But that couldn't explain.
Good. Yes, Marie, you know her.
You do know, right?
You manipulating little bitch. She's going to be like, she slept with him. Because she doesn't know that,
She
right?
was having an affair.
Presenting that to her in the most bad faith f***ing argument. God, he is so dark. He's so far from the path. And that is the kindest way that I can put it.
Please, keep this to yourself. I don't want Hank to think less of her.
Hey, at the end of the day, masterfully manipulated. Because he's presented what happened, but in a very, very disingenuous way. It's not how it happened. No context at all. And there it is. But he's fixed it. And he's not the bad guy anymore. And that's what he's so good at. How long until it catches up with him? A little while, I feel. At least till mid-season. Maybe then the second half of this season is Hank on his trail. Oh God, is he going to do something violent? Is he going to punish her somehow? With a banana? Hey, no, don't do it. Not an apple. Okay, a little snap before the violence. Fair enough. Instantly pans to Jesse and his relationship and how healthy this is and real this is. Compared with Walt and Skylar. Oh no, is he having second thoughts? Maybe he's where I'm at now, where he's getting to a point where he's like, she's going to be in danger. Okay, is Walt gaming? Oh, no, I haven't seen this film yet. I'm not listening to it. It's fine. Skylar, all I see is Skylar. It's fine. I don't see it. I'm not listening. Walt Jr. having a good time. The baby's there. Probably shouldn't be there. I'll be honest with you. Oh, please don't show me anymore. I'm not on it. To be fair, that's very iconic. I do know about that moment, so that's fine. That's not a spoiler. All right, let's just move on. Guys, is it The Godfather? I don't know the context, but like, I'll be honest with you, Breaking Bad is slightly spoiling The Godfather for me right now. I'm not looking, mate. Oh my god, this is horrible. I don't know what to do, man. I haven't seen the third one yet. Okay, that's on me. That's fair. That's on me. Okay, is it over?
Okay.
I apologize for what just happened. That wasn't dignified.
Transportation is worth 20%.
What did Gus pay his mules? Gustavo Fring didn't use mules. He spent 20 years building his own distribution. He had 6.
And there we are, the experience.
And do you know where they are now?
Gone.
Government impound.
Yeah.
You don't like paying 20%. Maybe you shouldn't have killed the guy.
And there we see the reminder that he's not Gus. As good as he is, he's not.
That is 45.
Ooh, interesting that we are seeing this infrastructure isn't quite as tight, I feel, as Walt is going to want. Literally seeing the money get taken from him, the loss and the expense, and how he's not, again, quite there in the way that Gus was. The camera lingering on it. We're meant to be shown. This is so cool because it's demonstrating specifically how Walt isn't Gus and how his operation isn't there and how it's checking his ego.
And right now, some of them are in jail and more will be soon. We are gonna make them whole.
Ooh, Mike taking a little bit of power from Walt there, making a decision.
What are they doing to further our interests?
Not giving you away.
The cops are looking at them very closely.
Yeah.
We are paying them. Why?
Because it's what you do.
And I do feel like Walt is missing something from this. His ego won't let him see that he needs more than just bravado, more than ego, something more substantial.
We're paying for their silence. That's blackmail.
Sure, what is Walt going to be like? Kill them?
Stick out of Mike. All right, go for it.
Bless him, throughout all of this, he is kind of the moral shining good in this little trio.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, what you got to say, mate? Tell me.
This is how it's gonna be.
Yeah, lessons still to be learned, but Walt doesn't want to hear that.
My guys are an ongoing expenditure.
And at the end of the day, let's not forget the fact that they are there and that is a reality is because of Walt.
137,000 is less than with Fring.
Just because you shot Jesse James
Doesn't mean you are.
don't make you Jesse James.
Yeah, there it is. The show just outright saying it. Again, the show is kind of pacey. It's showing, you know, the things that I'm talking about, the issues that I'm seeing, showing us, getting down to that bone straight away. And now we can move off of that platform and go somewhere with that.
Broke it off with Andrea.
Oh, and that is absolutely as a result of Walt's manipulation a little bit, getting in his head.
I meant this.
Wow, not even concerned.
How are you feeling about the money?
Dude, come on, reach out to your friend. Where'd the friendship go? And by the way, I do feel like it is, in some respects, Jesse's decision too. Because like I say, this whole time I've been saying, like, I'm worried for Andrea. You know, I do feel like she is in more danger being a part of Jesse's life. And maybe he sees that too. But at the same time, the reason that he came down to that conclusion was because of a little bit of a push, a little bit of a prompting from Walt. But see how quickly Walt there dismissed the friendship.
Been thinking about Victor. I was sure that Gus did what he did to send me a message.
Maybe there's another reason. Victor trying to cook that batch on his own, taking liberties that weren't his to take.
Oh, is he turning against Mike?
He flew too close to the sun, got his throat cut.
I think he's right there, by the way. I do think that was a cool motivation for Gus doing what he did there. I feel like he may be talking about Mike. Yeah. Watching him go. What's going on in your head, mate? Are you getting a little bit more scared, a little bit more fearful of where he's got to? Perhaps starting to realise that what Mike has been saying has a little bit of truth in it. Interesting. Okay, well, hey, look, I feel like this episode has done a lot, actually, to re-establish this this friendship and come full circle in regards to Walt and Jesse, and I like that a lot. I think, you know, regardless of where these characters are getting to in the show, and as much as, like, I'm judging Walt very harshly, and I do feel like his character has crossed this threshold into a place of darkness that isn't super redeemable, honestly. You know, I feel like there's been an element throughout the show of greyness to Walt. I feel like we're getting less grey and just more darkness, more black. You know, even the flashes, the hints of Walt are marred by the greater Heisenberg. But despite that, it's nice that we're getting these little payoffs, right? You know, the things that I was kind of speculating on. I was like, you know, you see obviously in season 1, Jesse and Walt cooking, and it's very unprofessional. They don't really know what they're doing. It's very higgledy-piggledy. Things go wrong and all this stuff. In my brain, I remember at the time, I was like, well, obviously we're building up to a place where these guys are in charge. Walt's in charge, and they have this business, this empire. And we're kind of, if we're not there yet, we're seeing the building blocks, and we had that little epic, like that little moment where they're coming in and they're in charge, and they are, like Jesse says, they're the owners, not the employees. They made it. They made it. And it's nice to get that little payoff, and it's nice that the show is paying attention to that and being like, yeah, let's give the audience what they want. And like I say, I think at the beginning of this episode, there's this element of tension in this machine and in the operation and what they're doing, right? And you know, we saw that at the end, and obviously I love the little comparison. The thing that I've been talking about these 3 episodes between Walt and Gus, and where he's at in his headspace, and what he thinks in regard to himself in relation to Gus, and how important that is at this point, and how it's influencing him going forward and giving him this kind of ego, this confidence, and how he's being reminded that he's not there yet, and he's not. He isn't, and his infrastructure, his business isn't there yet, which you know, is almost not necessarily his fault. I think Gus built that over at the course of 20 years, which obviously you're not going to just have that overnight. You're not. You have to build that up to a certain extent, and also this consequence that Mike introduces to the show again, right? This consequence that I feel like, you know, has been referenced throughout, that I think Walt has shown a little bit of a blind spot towards throughout the show. And again, Mike throws it in his face. It's like, you did this, you killed Gus, now we have this thing to take care of. This money going out of your pocket because of what you did. The consequences of your actions. And obviously he didn't take that very well. And now I feel like he is perhaps planning, again, like I said, was saying towards the beginning of the episode, these cracks in this machine that should work, right? Mike, Jesse, Saul, Walt, and to a greater extent, Jesse, Walt, and Mike, right? It should work. They're all very good at what they do, and you know, they've got to a place now where they know their stuff, and it should work. But there are just these cracks in the machine because there's conflict there based on what's happened. And yeah, and I think towards the end of this episode, you almost have that confirmed, where I feel like Walt is planting the seeds of like, Mike's gotta go. So that's what I'll end this episode on. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, I feel like we're getting into the part of the season where it's just this slow burn again, you know, this iconically Breaking Bad of like the spark, the match going tss, and we are building towards something. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you as always to my patrons. Also for those who are not subscribed, hey man, I don't know, just think about doing that. Thank you for joining me, and as always, Flamingo.